I'm Moyo, and this is Shy Chat. Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Shy Chat. I am your host Moyo, and on this episode we have a very special guest who is, I hope, talkative, but when he performs he's very quiet, very silent, not a peep comes out. I am sitting down with Scott Bishop, who is a part of the Blue Man Group, and we are at the Briar Street Theater in Chicago, Illinois. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited
Good,
to interview you, to learn your secrets and
Yes.
So you have been a part of the Blue Man Group for 13 years.
13 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think I've done anything consistently for 13 years.
Yeah.
So kudos to you.
I don't think I have either. I don't think so. No, I hear you, and that's a testament, I think, to the organization and to the job. For somebody like me, I'm maybe an unusual human being. Maybe I'm not very good at a lot of things, but I'm luckily good at like one or two things.
You found something.
This is what I do. And I mean, I was a performer before this, and classically trained, jazz trained, drummer and percussionist, and was performing with a lot of different ensembles, just trying to piece together a living.
Yes.
I know what that is. Little bits here and little bits there, working in restaurants. Terrible. Just the worst waiter and bartender you've ever.
Right.
Like when I would make drinks, because I was always like, no, I need to be out performing. I need to be doing stuff, and I'd be at the bar making drinks.
So you're actually from Canada.
Canada, Nova Scotia.
You came over here.
Yeah.
And you're still succeeding though.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how did this all start? How did you join? What sparked your mind, first of all, because it's such an interesting job.
Yeah. Well, I was touring with, probably 8 years prior to that, I was touring with this show called Scrap Arts Music, and it was based in Vancouver, which is West Coast Canada.
Okay.
And a real intense action drumming show, and all the instruments were handmade by recycled material, all the choreography was original, the music was all original. We were touring the world, really, and many friends of mine started sending me emails letting me know about an audition that was taking place in Toronto in 2004 for a Blue Man show that they were going to open in Toronto, in Ontario, in Canada.
Okay.
So I basically, long story short, flew myself to Toronto, talked myself into the audition, and got sent to New York for training. And then from there, went to Toronto, opened the show in Toronto, ran that for a while. Then went on and did the show in Germany, and then went on the Megastar World Tour, and then went back to Zurich, Switzerland, and then went to Las Vegas, and then came to Chicago.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
World traveler.
Yeah, it's been super fun.
How was the training process, and even the audition?
Yeah.
I'm sure were a lot of men.
Men and women.
Women.
Women show up too. I mean, you have to.
Are there any women a part of?
Not at this time. There have been.
Thank
The tough thing about it is you got to be around 6 feet tall to make a sort of a uniform look of the Blue Man. So it's hard to find women that are 6 feet tall. That's the biggest part of it. But women, I've done several auditions where women have participated and done really, really well.
Wow.
Sometimes it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. The stats, the numbers are basically one person in 1,200 make it. So 1 in 1,200 auditioners make it. So it's such a specific thing that they're looking for to manifest the character, to be able to interact with the audience, be able to connect with people,
Yes.
be able to play the drums, be able to act. There's like a whole bunch of little things that you have to be able to do.
So what are some of the characteristics that the judges, I guess, I could say, are looking for? What do you have that all the other candidates did not have?
Well, and it's interesting because it becomes, I think it happens, you start to see it really, really quickly. I've been on a lot of the auditions here in Chicago as the auditioners, and you start to see really, really quickly who's willing to be playful, who's willing to just kind of set their ego aside
Yes.
and want to interact and maybe help somebody else look good. which is tough for performers because we all want to be center stage. We all want to be the one that's noticed. We all want to be the one that wins the job. That's that mentality. But the thing is, with me, I don't know what happened. In that audition, I just had a lot of fun. I just played with the other people in the audition. There's lots of theater games that we'll play and interactive games that we'll play, and they'll just set up a scenario and say, you're this person from Little House on the Prairie, and you're this person. Okay, go make up a scene right now on the spot. So you just have to instantly use your imagination and start to play. And for some reason, it just kind of something that I like to do.
Yes.
And it's fun for me. And I played drums for years and years and years, so I had the drumming skills as well.
And I think it is important, not even just in this role, but it is important to let go of our ego. I think sometimes we're a bit uptight, so it is important. And just remember the youthful side of ourselves. A lot of people forget that, which is unfortunate.
And I think that's a really fun thing that happens in the show is we try to transform people. We try to take people on a ride, and
it's like the show itself is a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a journey.
Totally. And you try to reawaken that childlike side, the side that wants to be playful, that wants to have fun, that wants to interact, that wants to connect. And one of those things that I think is really interesting is we do this show. We do an Autism Speaks show, which is a sensory sensitive show, and that happens twice a year, where we open the show to it's basically in conjunction with Autism Speaks. So there's a lot of autistic or Asperger's who are very sensitive to interaction, very sensitive to light and sound and that sort of thing. So we tend to take the intensity of the show down a little bit so that it doesn't frighten people and it doesn't throw them off. But being able to see that kind of connection is really, really fun for me. It's really fun for us because you really get to see how you're affecting the audience in a very immediate way. It's a really special moment. And we just finished our group season, which is like hundreds and hundreds of hundreds of kids on skids. We just bring them in. No, we hundreds of kids that we bring in, and we do shows with like young kids, high school kids, university, and that's really fun to see how much you can connect with them, whether they want to connect. Sometimes they instantly want to connect. Sometimes they've got a bit of a wall up, and it's really fun to try and, break through that and make a connection with them. So I think that that's a really big part of the show, is just really trying to, is to make those connections and reawaken, have people kind of go away with a renewed feeling of happiness or spirituality, even.
So I saw that over 35 million people have seen the show. I'm not part of it, unfortunately, not yet. Okay. But how does it feel? Yes, I have to. Yeah. How does that feel to be a part of it? And how many shows have you done, if you've kept count, if you even know?
Let's think about that. I've done in the thousands for sure.
Wow.
So let's see if we did.
And each show's different. Each show has a little
bit different. Yeah.
The audience is different.
Yeah, for sure. And the energy's different, and then you'll have 3 different guys, and we'll mix it up, and so that adds to the spontaneity of it, and that adds. And then we talk about the show. After the show, we always sit down afterwards. A stage manager comes in, and we'll have like 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever. We just kind of we'll get feedback. We'll talk about how we felt about certain things in the show, which help keep it really, really fresh. But I've done, let's see, since 2005, so 13 years, averaging, let's say, 6 shows a week for 52 weeks. So 6 times 52 times 13.
I don't do the math.
Somewhere around there. 3,762.
Wow.
There it is. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. It's in the thousands.
Yeah. So how is your relationship with the other men that you work with? Have you built strong relationships, lifetime relationships? How's that?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's such a unique performance opportunity that we do, that you really do find your really strong connections with the other people that you're working with. The directors, I have very close friends who are directors in the show, musicians that I've worked with in other cities, on tour in Europe, and then the guys in this cast, we're all very close, very tight. We all hang out we all spend
Outside,
time. Yeah, we all
right?
spend time together, have a really fun time.
Okay, so one more question.
Yeah.
I want to know, how is it preparing, like in the paint? Is it like, what is it?
It's a grease paint.
How is it taking it off?
Yeah, it's all a lot of work.
Okay.
You know, you get really good at it. You get really fast at it.
Yeah. Because you can't be in public with some blue.
Well, sometimes.
Okay,
you know, sometimes you miss a spot, and that's okay. But you get pretty good at it, and you know, as I say, it really is about, you know, especially getting into the character of it. It kind of, you know, we're so automatic at it now, and it just really is part of like the transformation, bringing us into it. And then at the end of the show, you know, you're kind of tired, you're sweaty, and it's really easy to just kind of use some, you know, avocado oil or any of those kind of things, and just kind of use that to break it down.
Does anybody help you, or you just kind of
Yeah,
doing
we have a wardrobe person that helps us. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, a couple of wardrobes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Scott, if somebody is interested in being a part of the Blue Man Group, what advice would you give them? And then also I want to know why. Can you tell some of our Shy Chat viewers why they should come watch the show if they have not yet?
Oh.
Which they should, but
They definitely should. Well, I mean, it's an extremely unique show. I think it's kind of a magical show. There's going to be new stuff happening in the next year or so, which is really fun. It's a real chance to just come and let go, and just kind of let go of yourself for a minute and just kind of play for an hour and a half, you know.
Right.
Audience, like parents and children, it's a chance for me to just kind of like go as a group and have an experience together and go on a journey, like you said. You know, it really is it's a really unique, kind of special show that there isn't anything else like it anywhere else, and it's a really hard.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a really hard show to describe. When people say, "Well, tell me about the show," I'm like, "Well,
you have to see it. You have to be there."
Yeah, which is another reason to go. And people have a great time. And by the end of the show, no matter how people start, by the end of the show, people are like into it and they're having fun and they're having a blast. And it's funny. It's a funny show, and it's musical, and you know, it's interactive, and it's, you know, it's challenging a little bit to the audience maybe sometimes. And as far as what we're doing and what we're saying makes people think. I hope.
I think I'm excited. All right, and then if somebody wants to be a part of it, if they want to audition, what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I would say continue living your life as vibrantly as you can and as openly as you can. Continue being as artistic as you can and creative as you can, and non-judgmental as you can, maybe. We do auditions once or twice a year. Blueman.com. We'll have information on auditions. We do twice a year, I think, in Chicago. We do auditions, and to just be who you are.
Be yourself.
That really is a part of it. The timing that I did the audition was just the right timing for me, as far as where I was in my artistic development, or my brain, or my ability to be playful, or I think that there was a time that I could have auditioned a number of years earlier, and I think I wouldn't have gotten it then, because I don't think I was maybe artistically as mature. I don't think I was mature enough at that point. I think I was still too ego-driven at that point.
Let go of that ego, guys.
You gotta let go of that ego.
Let go. I agree.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Thank
if you guys have not seen this show yet, make sure you guys come check it out. And I'll see you guys next time on another episode of Shy Chat.